Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Salsabilah Draja Fauzani and I'm from 2021 class A. So today, I would like to presentate about discourse processing. So my group and I already answered the questions related to this topic. So let's go straight to the question. Number one, describe King's construction integration account of discourse processing. So, discourse processing is a prominent model that explains how individuals comprehend and interpret extended facts. This theory posits that during the process of understanding discourse, individuals construct and integrate various mental representations to form a coherent understanding of the text. And what kinds of representation are involved? There are three types of representations involved, such as surface model, text-based, and situation model. And how are they related to another? So the relationship between representation, there are three, such as the surface model serves as the foundation for building the text base. And for the second, there's the text base is derived from the surface model through interface process. And the last, there's the goal is to move from the literal words of the text surface model to a deeper understanding of the text meaning, like situation model. And how are they both are activated? Building an activation of representation, there are four. For the first, the construction phase involves bringing new text into the system for processing. And next, knowledge activation occurs based on the association of word in the text and activate proposition. And then there's once knowledge is activated, constraint satisfaction process help reduce the activate nodes to focus on the most relevant information for the overall context or term of the text. And the last, there's in the integration path. The active representation and working memory are connected to each other. Okay, number two. What are propositions and what do they contribute to discourse comprehension? And what is the relation between surface form and proposition? And what is the relationship between proposition and situation model? And what evidence support the psychological reality of proposition? So, proposition and their contribution to discourse comprehension, there are 8 points. First point is propositions are the basic units of meaning in language presenting the content or information conveyed by a sentence or utterance. And second is they contribute to discourse comprehension by conveying the main ideas, claim, or other things that are being conveyed. And third is propositions help in organizing and structuring the information in discourse, allowing comprehension to create a coherent mental representation of the text. And then they serve as the building blocks of construction situation models, which are mental representation of the event, participant, and relation described in the discourse. And the 5 point, there's the relation between surface form and proposition in that surface form refers to the actual word and grammatical structure of sentence. And then the 6 point, there's propositions are closely related to situation model as they provide the content that is used to construct and update the mental representation. And there's the psychological reality, psychological reality of proposition. Proposition is supported by evidence from various studies, including discourse analysis, talk log protocols, and recognition priming. And the last point, there's the studies have shown that comprehenders make inference based on the proposition conveyed in the discourse. This demonstrating the proposition play a crucial role in discourse comprehension. Wow. Okay, next. What do comprehenders remember after they read a story? So after reading a story, comprehend various aspects of the text based on the mental representation they have constructed during the reading process. This representation can vary in terms of durability and impact on memory retention. An experiment conducted by Susan Duffy and colleagues shed light on how different encoding strategies affect memory retention in comprehensive. Describe an experiment showing that some repetitions are more durable than others. So the experiment description. In Susan Duffy and college experiment, participants were instructed to elaborate on pairs of sentences by writing down a sentence that could come between the two critical sentences. And some participants engaged in this elaborated text while others simply read the sentence without elaboration. And then the experiment aimed to investigate how the deep of encoding such as elaboration influence memory retention of the context. And for the finding, participants who elaborate on sentence pairs by creating an additional sentence we call all target sentence equal well regardless of the conference level of the original sentence pair. And memory retention was equally strong after 24 hours for participants who engaged in elaboration compared to those tests immediately after reading. Okay, next. Describe the Greenspector structure building framework. In what way does it resemble construction integration? And in what ways does it differ? Describe experiments that support the existence of mapping, shifting, engagement, and suppression, and explain how each process contributes to discourse comprehension. Okay, for the Greenspec structure building framework is a theory of discourse processing that emphasizes the use of general purpose cognitive mechanisms to interpret and remember extended discourse. This framework shares similarities with Keynes' constructive integration theory in that both theories aim to explain how comprehenders build mental representation of discourse. Okay, one major difference is that while Keynes' theory is primarily focused on spoken and written text, in Gernbacher's framework can be applied to both verbal and non-verbal material, such as picture stories. So in Gernbacher's structure building framework, there are several processes play crucial roles in discourse comprehension, such as mapping, shifting, engagement, and separation. So the process contributing to first is mapping. The software mapping, disconnecting incoming information to the foundation of the mental representation as long as the new information is related to or coherent with the present information. And the second shifting, when incoming information is not related to the present information, comprehender engage in the process of shifting to build a new substructure. And for the engagement, the mechanism increases the activation of memory nodes that are related to the input and the currently active set of memory nodes. And the last, there's separation, decrease the activation of memory nodes that are not relevant to the current discourse. By suppressing irrelevant information, comprehender can focus on building a coherent mental representation without interference from unrelated details. So through this experiment, the process of mapping, shifting, engagement, and separation have been shown to play vital roles in discourse comprehension. Okay, next, number 5. What does Zwan's event indexing model say about discourse processing? So Zwan event indexing model focuses on how people construct situation models from narrative text. According to the aim, comprehenders aim to understand the goals, actions of protagonists, and unfolding even a real or fictional world. And what kinds of information do comprehenders put in their mental mode? So there are five core aspects of the story. Index each event based on these features, such as there are time, protagonist, quotation, path, and motivation. So what kind of evidence support claims made by the event indexing model? So in the aim, events are represented as active memory nodes, and the story represents consists of these memory nodes and their connections. Each memory node is a code for the five core features mentioned above. So the comprehend puts various types of information in their mental mode, including temporal relation, character interaction, causal connections, spatial information, and motivational aspect of the story. The IM saga said these elements are crucial for constructing a current understanding of the narrative. So overall, overall, indexing model provides a framework for understanding how comprehenders create mental representation of narrative by tracking key elements such as time, protagonist, cause, space, and motivation, and updating this representation as the new information is processed. Okay, number 6. What does the causal chain hypothesis say about discourse comprehension? What happens when two adjacent parts of a text do not have an obvious causal connection? So according to the causal chain hypothesis, in discourse comprehension, comprehender look for a causal, causal connection between events in the story in order to comprehend the order in which those events occur. In order to keep the narrative coherent, comprehenders may infer a causal relationship between two adjacent parts of a text if there is not a clear one. For instance, if a character in a tale is mentioned as leaving early for a party and stopping at the mall, it could be assumed that the individual was there to buy a party favor. Okay, next, number 7, describe different kind of inference. What roles do inference play in discourse comprehension? When and how do comprehenders draw inference? Different inferences are made by comprehenders in discourse comprehension to fill in the blank and make sense of the text. Some examples of inference are elaborative inference, which draw conclusion about characters based on their actions, goal inference, which infer the intention or motivation of characters, causal inference, which comprehend that one event caused another event, breaking inference, which connect information that is not explicitly stated, and instrument inference. Because they aid in the information of cohesive mental image of the text, repressions are essential to discourse comprehension. And next, number 8, describe the structure mapping and focus account. How does it relate to the Moses illusion? The structure mapping and focus account is a theoretical framework that explains how readers construct mental representation of narrative by focusing attention on specific elements within the text. This account posits that characteristics in stories are represented by tokens, which serve as mental placeholders in the situation model. So in the context of the Moses illusion, the structure mapping and focus account suggests that when grammatical clues draw attention to a specific character, readers are more likely to notice inconsistent or incongruities involving that character. So by focusing attention on key elements like mood, stroke, grammatical cues, or linguistic structure, readers are more likely to detect discrepancies or inconsistency in the narrative. This highlights the role of attention that focus in shaping how readers interpret and construct mental representation of story. Okay, the last, number 9. Which part of the brain participate in discourse processing? What function do the left and right hemispheres undertake? So part of the brain involved in discourse processing. The first one, the first point, the left hemisphere of the brain is involved in discourse processing. And the second point, the right hemisphere of the brain also participate in discourse processing. And the last point, the frontal and parietal lobes of the brain are specifically involved in processing different aspects of discourse. Okay, the function of the left and right hemisphere in discourse processing. Number one, now first point, the left hemisphere is responsible for generating inference during discourse processing. And the second point, the right hemisphere plays a spatial role in generating inference and contributes to non-literal language processing. And the right hemisphere is injected during semantic integration and causal inferencing in reading. And the last point, right hemisphere brain activity is a greater for unrelated pairs of sentence compared to closely related pairs of sentence. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thank you for watching this video. Sorry if there are any mistakes because I'm just human. Okay, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.